Okay, today I just wanted to make a simple video, mostly because some people were having trouble finding how to link to an image and so on. And I know they've altered the um, WordPress interface a little bit, so I'm just going to talk. I just have a sample page that's up right now. Again, I've just logged in. I'm using WordPress on my GoDaddy. WordPress has been installed on a folder on my GoDaddy account, and then I can use the software. Of course, you have a login and password, and once you're logged in, I just went to Pages, and then I clicked on the sample page. So really, I'm going to make this real quick. Again, just to show you where some of the images are, that the places where you might need to put images. I know I have a longer video that really explains detail about images and maybe using a slideshow and so on like that. But for right now, again, some of the images that you might need would be a featured image. Featured image is basically an image that is for this post or this page right here. So if you click on set featured image right here, you can go and find a file. I'm just going to grab one from my desktop. I'm just going to grab a photo. Whoosh. It's kind of big. You should learn to use Photoshop to make them smaller. This is 8.2 megabytes. It's a rather large file. Most of the files I put on, I try and use less than 100K. But I'm going to put this on anyways for right now, just to get you to see. Again, whenever you import an image into the program, it is stored in the media library. Inside the media library, you'll have places that you can add content to your image. I think this week I also talk about what the alt tag is, and you should leave an alt tag that describes what is the picture. And so this would be a tree in Joshua. Oh, it's not letting me type until it's done. Here we go. Tree in Joshua National Park. So you should give all your images a alt tag. The alt tag is used for screen readers. So, you know, let's say somebody can't see the screen and the software is reading it to them. It will read the alt tag when it sees an image. You can give it a caption. That's just text that might be next to your picture. That is fine as well. And a description, and then a copy link. This is actually the location of where the image, I believe, is located on your server. So that's sort of what that is. Let's see where that is. That's something kind of new, I think. Yeah, there it is. So that's actually the location of where it's on your server. So there you go. It's right here. And if we set it as a featured image, it'll be right here. Now, it's not on your page. It's basically like an image that shows up if you share this page with somebody else. Like if somebody shares it on Facebook, that featured image would then show up as the image for this page. That's sort of, and you should read about what a featured image is and so on. I believe I have some links about that. The next thing I'm going to talk about will be the putting a picture on the page itself. And let me make that picture smaller. I can't keep going at. So if you have Photoshop, I'm going to make this image kind of smaller right now. Let me quit my Xcode here. I'm going to make the Photoshop. I'm going to open Photoshop real quick here. And I was going to say I only have one day left for Photoshop. And if I open that image that is on my desktop here, let's see, where is it? This one right here. Woo, 12.3 megabytes is a rather large file. You don't want to sort of put something like that on your website. So usually what I would do is shrink it down. How I shrink it down inside of Photoshop is by using the image size option. So if you open an image in Photoshop, you can go under image size, and I'm not going to use 300 DPI. I'm going to change that to 72, and you'll notice it make my image a lot smaller. In fact, I might even make it smaller, make it just like 1,000 pixels high. That's, you know, that's a pretty nice looking picture right here. And you'll notice it's 1.91 megabytes right now, but I'm going to make it even smaller because we're going to compress it. So again, usually I change the size of images inside of Photoshop using image size, and then I hit OK. It might look small here, but there's a zoom factor inside of Photoshop. Right now it's 25%, so if I zoom in Command plus, and you see it at 100% inside of Photoshop, this is the size it would be on your website. Now I'm going to save it, Now the formats that you need to save it to, you got GIF files, you have JPEG files, you have PNGs. I'm just going to go on File, Save As, and let's save this one as a JPEG. And I'm going to hit Save. Oops, I don't want to replace it. Let's make it a new one. Let's make it a 3. How about that? I'll keep my original. Then when you get here and you see a JPEG slider here, usually you can slide it to make it smaller. Usually it'll pop up and tell you how big it's going to be when you're doing this slider. It's not really showing me that. And so I'm going to reduce it down even further. Oh, maybe the preview. Oh, there it is. It'll show you what the kilobytes are under the preview option here. I'm going to go down to even smaller. There we go. 166 kilobytes. It's still a little big, but that's okay. Let's hit OK. Now this is much better to put on my website because it's going to take up a lot less space and download faster and make my website run faster, and you want a fast website. So let me quit Photoshop and go back to our sample page. Again, to put a sample image in this sample page, you have little blocks right here, and you can add a block. And in the block, you'll notice there is an image option right here. So if I click on image here, it'll add an image block. Then it brings up the image block. And I have this in my other video, I know, but I want to show you how to make the link and stuff like that, which is a little different, I believe, nowadays. And I can hit upload, and I can then grab my photo and put it inside of my page. And of course, it is once it's in here, it's actually going to be stored again in the media over here. It should. Well, let's stay on this page for right now. But once you have it in there, the place where you link now is you'll notice that the image has different options up here. This is for changing the alignment so text can wrap around it. This is to edit the image. This is to add the link. So if the person clicks on the photo, where do you want it to go? So let's click on a photo right now and have it go somewhere so we can practice our links. I'm going to click on there, and so if you're going to a website that's out on the internet, or you want them to click on the picture and go to a page outside of your website, you could put in the http://www. wherever you want it to go. Let's have it go to google.com. And then you can hit this little arrow right here, and it'll put that link. So when the person clicks there, so that seems to be the place. I think in my previous video I showed that you could put the link inside of the media window here in the media window. I believe so. If it's actually a web page, if you're linking to an internal page or a page that's actually inside your website, you can click on this arrow. No, was it this arrow? Yeah, link. Let me see. I'd have to think about that. Maybe can we do it? I'll have to test that right now. Let me finish with this one, and then we'll see what we can do about that. Okay, so again, you can change the block type, wrap the text, edit the image. Let's edit the image. I want to see what that does. Oh, just made it smaller. That didn't really do much, did it? Edit it. Upload the image and pick one from the library. Okay, I guess it's just, let's say cancel there for right now. And then look, here's where the caption can be written right at the bottom there. I think a lot of those things can be done right inside the media library. So let's save this page. So update over here. And then let's go to the media library over here. And look at our image in there. Yeah, it did automatically put it in right here. So you can click on it there and you can give it a caption, description. It tells you what page it's been uploaded to. Make sure you give it your alternative text in here. This is a cactus in Joshua Tree Park. Okay, so you can give it a a description there, and it'll automatically save once you click off it. And then we can close that. Again, it did put it in the media library. It should store it in there. Next, let's go back to our page, and I think that was pretty much all I wanted to show, is that you can add add an extra link. It looks like here in the blog, and then if you want to change the position of the picture with the images around it, again, you can move things up and down using the arrows here. So I just moved the picture below that text that was there before. And then a lot of this stuff that I'm showing here, as far as, you know, how to put the link on and stuff, may depend upon a theme that you chose. Like, you know, my website, my work website here, the Zircon site, and, you know, We work on this website called Zircon.com. This is all done in WordPress as well, but it's done in a customized version of the theme, and it doesn't actually have all that block. It's kind of more of the video that I showed from last spring. So, you know, you might be working with an older theme, so, you know, a lot of what the problems that you run into with WordPress is that you have older themes and so on. You know, it just depends. The theme might change the way things are done. The other thing to keep in mind, of course, is some of you talked about how the block over here got lost, and you click on the little wheel here to bring it back. Next, in the page itself, if I click outside the picture, not have the picture select, watch what happens over here in this area, and you click outside. You click in, click out, click in, click out. Depending upon what you have selected, may change this look over here. So once you have a block, like they have this block edited, you'll see it has actually some information in there. And you click outside. Now you're clicked on the page, which is the document, and this changes over here. You'll notice you have revisions. You have permalink, which is basically the location or the slug name right here. It's using this name right here as the name of the page. What is the permalink? That's the name of the file basically, and so that's the name of the page once it's published. Then there's a featured image. It's another place to put an image. That is the image that is usually shared. When you share your page online, like if I was going to share this on Facebook, the featured image would be at the top of that link. So that's sort of what a featured image is, and so that can be different than what you see actually on the page. And you should look up featured image as far as you know, how it's used in marketing and so on. So that, again, my most important thing was to show you how to make a link here on the image. And so I think that's sort of the main thing I wanted to show today. Keep in mind that let's talk about how to turn in an image, or turn in a page, I meant, because some of you have been sending me links that I can't open because I'm not logged in as you. So if you look up here, you'll notice it's, you know, you can't. This is the link that it's working on right now, but I can't open this because it won't let me because the link that's up here. So in order to turn a page in and use a page, you have to publish it. As well as in order for you to have a page that's in the menu, it has to be published as well. So if you look over here, you'll notice there is an update here. So if I hit update right there, it is now, you know, an updated page, but it's still not visible. You can click here where it says public right there, and visible to everybody. Yes, private, password protected. Yes, there's like a little option right there. But if I hit preview right here, it's still not going to let me. You know, this part is going to, you know, you don't need this part right here. What I'm looking for is this part right here where it says sample page. Do you see that? That's the name. So right here, this is the actual link I want you to send me. The actual, you know, name of the page. So if we open that up in a new tab and we paste that in there and hit return, we should see our page. So it doesn't require you to be logged in. I know I'm logged in still because I'm logged in there. Here, we'll just try it in a different browser. Let's try it in Chrome. I'm not logged into Chrome. There we go. So we have our sample page there. Okay, and oh, there's the featured image. It's at the top of the page. Well, that kind of tells you, yeah, I don't like having such a giant featured image at the top of my page. Kind of depends on the theme. Okay, so let's talk about how we get rid of that. Wow, that's awful big. So you might not want to have a big image. I guess I remove the featured image. But you can also go into the customize. And inside of your, so what's the difference between customize and making a page is that the customize is sort of changing the overall look of the entire website, where a page is you're just adding content to the page. So boy, it makes sense that I could adjust it here. I guess not. Yeah, a lot of these themes actually have such a giant featured image. I don't like that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't use a featured image. If I wanted to have an image at the top of my page, then I would probably use that. I don't know how to change a featured image here in the customize. I don't know. I'm looking. I'd have to change the theme, I guess. So again, if you don't want that giant image on the top of your page, you probably wouldn't use a featured image. Maybe I'd remove that. But again, the purpose of the featured image, at least in the original way that blogs were made, was the featured image was seen at the top of your document, especially when you would share it on Facebook. So I may have changed it again. So this might look even better. Let me update that, and then let me preview. And again, you don't need everything after the question mark here to turn that in. This is basically the link right here. And this looks better without that giant image at the top of the page. And so then you can see your content down below. Now a lot of you have all, this is, since it's a blog, you have a bunch of extra things at the bottom here. So I don't know, hopefully that helps you at least put the link on it. You put the link right on the page now.